Hello guys, welcome to another TBG9C video. Today, I will be showing you my Lego M3 Grand Orly. It's like, I actually made a Grand Orly. This is the Lee, as you can see, with that mini machine gun turret on top. And like, this gun actually can turn all the way around. And like, I forgot to put the doors there. And if you like the Lee, this is what you would get. And so the 75mm guns right here. The sponsons also there. I couldn't find bogey, so I just put more wheels. So now, this is the Lee turret. And this is the Grant turret. Let's try to make this a Grant. And here we go. This is the M3 Grant, the British version. I'm a Grant with the big fat gun, the big fat turret. But I hate machine guns. Yeah, like the British didn't like machine guns, so like they just pretty much removed all the machine guns except for the coaxial one. And like, cause like, the Americans are like, ooh, we love machine guns, and like they try to stick as many machine guns as they could. Like I think they put 2 machine guns there, one there, and another one there, and there were just basically machine guns all over. But here is the British turret, the fatter turret. Like I just like to call it da fat turret. So like that's the real difference. I'm also gonna make a video on how to tell the difference between a Lee or a Grant, and the M3A1 Lee 2 was like, that was a cast hull one, I think. So this is the M3 Lee, and like this tank was actually the predecessor of the super successful M4 Sherman. And as you can see, the engine's supposed to be here, and the crew would be there, so the driver would be right here. The gunner and the loader for the big 75 would be sitting like around here. The commander would obviously be in his cupola, firing the machine gun all over the place. And there would be well, not all over the place, but there's a loader and a gunner for the 37mm on. Yeah, okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, American turret. Time for the British turret. And like, pretty much everything's the same, but like in the first version, there had to be another radio operator here. So there would be 7 people. There would be 2 gunners, 2 loaders, a commander, a driver, and a radio operator, and that would be 7 crew members, and that's quite a lot. So the British asked if the Americans could design a new turret for their M3 Lees under the I think that was called the Lend-Lease Act. And so they told the Americans to design a new turret without that silly machine gun turret on top. And they said to make the turret a little wider. And so the radio would be around here, so there wouldn't have to be an extra crew member operating a radio. And so the British actually cut the crew down to 6 people instead of 7. And later, the Americans followed. So now both of them would be on 6. And like the radio was, I think, over around here, like under here or something. And yeah, so there was a hatch here, and like this thing's actually pretty good. Both of these can rotate. This can rotate all the way around. And the thing that's cool about this turret is that the little turret can also rotate. And the big 75 is in the hole, as you can see right here. And okay, now let's look at the British turret. British turret, and turn. Yeah, so like, as you can see, the British turret is fatter than the American turret. Here's the British turret. You got your British turret, you got your American turret. Okay, let's switch that back. The British turret, you got, yeah, British, and you got, yeah, American. British, American. As you can see, the British one is fatter than the American one. Fatter. But they're both good turrets, and like the the M3 Lee and the Grant both had a 37mm M5 cannon and a 75mm M2 gun, which was pretty good. And like this, the Grants and I think the Lees too were first used in the North Africa campaign, and I think 1941 or 42, or I'm not that sure, I totally forgot. So the Grants were most used there, but after the M4 Sherman was already in mass production and they didn't need these crappy Grants anymore, they just put these Grants against the Japanese in the Pacific, because the Japanese armor at the time was pretty crappy, and so the combination of 37mm gun and 75mm gun was really good against infantry. So, but the British didn't only use Grants. They also used Lees, even though they didn't like that silly machine gun turret on the turret. And if you like just take everything off, it kind of looks like a stacking toy. It's like, this is the first piece, and then the second piece, and then the third piece. And like you just basically stack them together. But the British turret only has, the Grant only has it only has 2 stacking blocks. And so this is the engine deck at the rear. There were some pistol ports, I think. There were some there and there. Only on the Grant turret. I think there were 2 doors here with the pistol ports too. There's a hatch there. Big fat donut shaped hole thing. And there was the engine. The engine was, I think there's supposed to be a door around here. Okay, those wheels. There's supposed to be a door around here, and like let's just open the door and you see the engine. And so this is the, so like, which one do you like the best? Do you like the M3 Grant, or do you like the M3 Lee more? Oh, totally forgot to put that machine gun turret. Like the M3, actually, the M3 had an advantage. There were 2 guns, like on the French Char B1 bis, or just the B1, and they were like, they were pretty good. Like the combination was good. Like I said, the combination of both guns were good against the infantry, but so the M3 Lee or Grant is actually the predecessor of the M4 Sherman, and like for the M4 Sherman, they basically just threw out the 37, and well, they just got the 75 out and put it in the big turret, and then swing it around all 180 degrees. And okay, let's put this back because now it looks ugly. Then rip the thing off, and I ripped the 75 off. Let's just put it back. Wait, okay, I'm just gonna use the Lee for the example. And the Lee and the Grant had some advantages. Like they had 2 guns, and so their advantage is that they had 2 guns, but their disadvantage was that they had a very tall profile. As you can see, is the whole is just the gun was stacked on top of the hull, so it had a pretty high silhouette. So because the British did not like that, they told the Americans to design the new turret without a useless little machine gun turret. And so they made this, and they also requested to make it a little fatter. And like there were two machine guns here, but again, the British didn't like the machine gun because you literally couldn't aim them because they were in place. You could only adjust their elevation and depression. And yeah, it's like if you are too busy turning the vehicle around, just aiming the machine guns, the gunner on the 75mm would have a pretty tough time. So the British just ripped them off, and later the Americans ripped them off too. And so I'll put the link to that, how to tell the difference between a Grant and a Lee and the Super Lee, in the description and at the end screen. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye. And yeah, in the comment section, tell me if you like the M3 Grant or the M3 Lee more. So I'm gonna see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.